It needs lemon, and I think it's missing something else though, actually. What is it missing? Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new around here, ako si Kat, Filipino American ako, just learning all about my Filipino culture. For today's video, we are going to do another cooking lesson, and we are going to be making some pancit and doing a little pancit mukbang. So let's go ahead and get started. To start off, I got the ingredients here, and I have my vegetable oil, some minced garlic, and I also got some celery and some carrots, onions, cabbage, snap peas, and I got some chicken thighs to add in. And what I'm kind of missing here is my soy sauce. Now this is the pancit that I got from Seafood City, of course, not sponsored, but it is the pancit bihon, and it's the thin noodles, which I actually prefer the thin noodles. And it said no need to soak, which I have no clue what that means because I don't even know how to make pancit, so I don't know what soaking does. But you can see here I filled up my water pot and of course measured it with my finger because all true Filipinos only measure with their hands. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken thighs inside here, and I'm going to let it boil for a little while. Now that I have them all inside, I cover it up and just let it cook. Now I need to start prepping the vegetables. So I start cutting up the carrots, and I really have no clue how to cut up carrots. It pretty much is like when I was making sinigang and I was cutting up the tomatoes. I was like, what am I doing here? And I came to the realization that I probably should have skinned the carrots first, and I was trying to make them really thin because that's what I usually see in pancit, but I'm just so bad at prepping vegetables, you guys. Like, it's just awful. After cutting up all the carrots, next I got some celery and I started cutting that up as well, and I just started kind of cutting little pieces off and realizing that what I was doing was not very effective. As you can see, I'm just cutting half a stalk right here. I don't know what was I doing. Like, come on. I'm hoping by the end of these cooking series that I become like a real chef and I could do like the really fast cutting like you always see chefs do. Now it's time for me to go over and check on my chicken. I'm like, what on earth is this crap on here? I'm like trying to look all over for my chicken, and there it is. And I think it looks pretty much done, so I go ahead and turn it off and I take the chicken out. And then I start cutting up celery leaves because it turns out you need to add celery leaves according to my mom, which I didn't know, so I just grabbed a couple of them and I started chopping those up too. And then next is the onion. So I sliced an onion in half and then I started chopping that up. And again, as you can see, I really suck at chopping onions and just any vegetables in general. But I started crying here and my eyes were hurting, and I hate cutting onions. They suck. I should just pay someone else to cut them for me. And then right here I have my cabbage, which I had no clue how to cut either. So here I am, just rolled them up and just started slicing them up, hoping that that'll work out. After I cut up all of my cabbage, I got the chicken and I started to slice them. I had no clue how to slice these as well, and so I just did literally like a rough chop, just kind of just slicing through and cutting up all the pieces. I was just like, whatever, this looks good. I mean, as you can see, I have no clue what I'm doing, but as long as I get the end results right, doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get the end results, I think. Now to start cooking, I have the wok, and I put in about 3 tablespoons of the vegetable oil at first, and then actually later I realized it wasn't enough, so I added an extra tablespoon. So technically I have 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So I put that on there, heated up for a little while, and then I went and I added in some of the garlic. And I think it was just about 1 tablespoon of garlic. The minced garlic
is so helpful because that's just another thing I don't have to cut up. My mom was asking me, where's your garlic? And I'm just like, right here in this container. I'm not going to cut up fresh garlic. She says that's the best way to do it. I'm trying to cheat here because I'm trying to cook this fast because I was hungry. So now I'm going to go ahead and let it cook up for a little while. And then I started adding in my onions. So I threw those all in there and then just kind of cooked that for a little bit. After I let the onions cook for a little bit, I added in some chicken. So I did a little bit at first because I thought it was a lot of meat, but my mom was telling me, no, add in all the meat, and so I just went ahead and I added it all in. And so I let that cook for a little bit, and then I added, I think it was like maybe 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And the soy sauce I was using was the Kikkoman low sodium, which now I know for next time, don't use low sodium because it was just not nearly as salty as it should have been. My mom was telling me, use the Filipino soy sauce, and I couldn't find the Filipino soy sauce. I don't know why. It's missing somewhere. So I added in a little bit more liquid, and so now I added the water from the chicken broth that the chicken was boiling in. I just poured a little bit in there just to kind of help with the soaking of the pancit noodles and the cooking of the rest of the veggies. So you can see I added my horribly chopped carrots, and then I added my celery and the celery leaves as well. So we want to definitely have those cooking first because they take a while to cook. So I let them kind of soak in the soup or broth, I guess I should say, just to get them steaming and going. And then after I had that cooking for a little while, I just kind of mix it up, bring it to a boil, and I think the next one is going to be the snap peas. So you can see I put in a little bit of snap peas. Now the snap peas, before I put them in, my mom told me I had to cut the ends off, which I was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And she says, yeah, you have to like take the tips of the ends off. So I went ahead and did that. Clearly you could see I got really lazy. I didn't put in enough snap peas. And then I went to go try a little bit of the sauce just to make sure that it was good to go, and it tasted fine to me. And then I added in the noodles, the pancit noodles, and at first I was like, okay, this is not gonna work, but my mom said just give it time, eventually it'll soak into the water and it'll get softer. So I just kind of kept mixing it up to make sure that the pancit noodles was actually soaking the water in. And eventually, this is what it looks like. Now you can see here, there's still a little bit of water. I had to switch to tongs to kind of really flip the noodles and make sure I was getting the stuff from the bottom and mixing it to the top. And I just kind of kept doing that for a while until it eventually absorbed all the liquid and it was just like regular pancit. The liquid has been absorbed and now it's ready to eat. My mom always says, kain na.
Okay everyone, now that we are officially done cooking, here is the finished results. Oh my gosh, it is so, it smells so good. I'm so excited. First, I want to say, if you guys are new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of my next video, and go ahead and add me on Instagram as well. I was definitely Instagramming like this whole meal and everything, but I'm pretty excited. And I also definitely want to give a shout out to my mom for helping me throughout that whole process. I was really, really nervous. So let's try. It's so good. Oh, it's really, really good. You know what though? You know what it's missing? It's lemon. Gosh, that's what it needs. It needs lemon. It needs lemon, and I think it's missing something else though, actually. What is it missing? I think it might be missing a little more salt. And I think maybe because the first soy sauce I put in was like the Kikkoman, it was like low sodium. It's still good though. But it definitely needs lemon. I don't have lemon on me right now. I have lemon outside on my lemon tree, but it's dark out there. I'm not gonna go out there. Oh, it doesn't need, it needs some salt. But hold on. Is there salt coming out? I don't think my salt's really coming out, but oh well. So this pancit here, like I said before, is the pancit bihon. I really like this type. Oh, the salt come out very good. I love the thin noodle pancit versus like the thicker one. I think it's like pancit canton or something like that. I don't exactly remember what it's called. You guys, I am so proud of myself. So good. It really is missing the lemon though. I'm just being so lazy right now. That's so good. Now, I'm gonna be totally and completely honest with you guys. That was hard to make. I mean, it was like not hard, it just was like a lot of preparation for some reason. And I think the preparation was more of just like the carrots. I mean, clearly you saw me cutting the carrots. I had no clue what I was doing. So good though. And I think I should have put more of the snap peas. I don't think I put enough. The veggies are perfect though because they still have a little snap to them still, so they're not like very soggy, which I was kind of afraid of because I mean you saw like the amount of liquid I had to put in there and everything for the noodles. It's really good though. Now, if you're not Filipino, it's customary in Filipino culture that noodles means like life, like your length of life or something, something like along that line. So for every birthday, my mom would always make us pancit. She would always make us some sort of noodle dish. So either pancit or it was spaghetti, something like that. And I remember that you couldn't cut the noodles, because if you did, then you're cutting your life shorter. I think that was the superstition. It's so good though, you guys. Oh my gosh. I am like turning into a little Filipino chef here. I'm pretty proud of myself. Yeah, the only thing that's missing now is that touch of lemon. And by touch, I mean like I douse the whole thing in lemon. I just like soak it all in because I love that sourness bite to it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna say this is an incomplete pancit. It's an incomplete pancit meal because I don't have lemon. Or if you don't have lemon, you can also do, what is the other one, the other citrus fruit my mom puts? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. We have it in the backyard too. They're like little tiny, small, like itty bitty oranges. They're not tangerines, they're calamansi. Calamansi, that's what it is. my mom will add that too. It's good. Now the real test is gonna be if my husband likes it, because he does like my mom's pancit. So we'll see what he says. He will probably say it's missing some salt. Makes you thirsty. And I really wish I had the oyster sauce. My mom puts oyster sauce in hers, and it really kicks it up a notch. So I think maybe that might be also missing, is the oyster sauce. But it's a good dish, man. And pancit, especially at parties, oh, it's a great dish to have at parties. I'm like starting to get quiet now because I'm just like focused on the eating, because it's so good. Okay, so now that I've been eating this, what else do you guys think I should make now? I'm thinking, I was telling this to my mom, the next thing I think I want to make is like a beef caldereta or something like that. I love caldereta, so I'm thinking I might try that. I don't even know how to do it, but hey, I didn't know how to make sinigang and I didn't know how to make pancit, and now that it's two things I have now learned how to cook. I'm very proud of myself. Okay, well, that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys all really enjoyed it. I'm choking. Hold on, I'm choking. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, because I know I did. I worked really hard to make this pancit for myself. And I mean, that's really all I'm making for, is for myself. I mean, you know, filming it and everything like that, that's really also for myself, because I'm kind of saving these videos as a way to kind of like a virtual cookbook. So now I know if I ever want to make pancit again, I just watch on the video. And don't forget, add some oyster sauce. Just a reminder to myself. But that's it for today's video, and I will see you all on the next one. Ingat kayo!